we're using Oovoo right now, but for the uninitiated, please explain what Oovoo is.
So Oovoo is a online multi-party free video chat software. We started it back in 2007, and up to today we have close to 80 million registered users worldwide, and we support most of the popular end-user platforms like Windows, Mac, Web, Facebook, and Android, iOS, all those things.
Okay, so I wanted to straight away address perhaps what many people might be thinking, the elephant in the room. In terms of video communications, there's Skype, which is a household name in businesses. So clearly, it's going to be a difficult market to make your presence felt. How does Oovoo look to compete?
Yeah, obviously that's the white elephant in the room, and everywhere we go, the name Skype was cited as the number one competitor, and indeed they are our number one competitor. And when we started, we're not that much different from Skype from an application point of view, but there are a few things I want to point out. One is Oovoo started from the beginning as a group social video chat tool. Versus Skype, started as a VoIP application and they added a video later on. So the whole infrastructure technology-wise for the two applications are very different. Oovoo is designed from day one as a cloud-powered multi-party video service, and as most people would know, Skype started as a P2P service. And so that's the difference with the origin, so to speak. And as both services evolve, it becomes more and more different. If you look at today, what Oovoo is, it's a very different application from what Skype is. Oovoo is being used in ways that Skype is not being used. We're never afraid to sort of get in a room and do a bake-off in terms of quality and performance, between Oovoo and the Skype. In fact, we've done independent studies like this, and one study that we published said 8 out of 10 Skype users actually prefer Oovoo when they did the blind test to compare the quality from Oovoo versus Skype.
So generally then, mobile is clearly a very important part of your strategy, would you say?
Oh, absolutely. Mobile, not only it's important, it's the most important thing. That's the thing we think every day, every minute. The whole world is going to mobile. The same challenge faced by other internet app companies like Facebook. We're seeing the same transition. I don't have the exact stats off the top of my head, but I think within a year, our user did a sort of complete overturn in terms of where they come from. We used to be 80% from desktop and a little bit from mobile when it was 2 years ago. And within the last 12 to 18 months, as I said, over 70% of our new users are coming to us from the mobile platform. So that's, the mobile platform, particularly the smartphone platform, is the foremost platform that we think about.
So in terms of what's going on right now all over the world with the 4G LTE rollouts, how excited are you about this technology leap that's taking place?
Oh, we're very excited about that. I mean, obviously, we are a video application. It means we need a lot of bandwidth, right, compared to messaging, texting type of applications. So I think the availability of LTE networks, more and more of them worldwide, it's great news for us or applications like us. I could think of the last time something like this happened that hugely benefited applications like Oovoo was a few years back when most of the laptops started to have embedded webcam. And that was a pivot point for a lot of the video chat applications, because all of a sudden you don't have to worry about that peripheral anymore. I think what's happening with the LTE 4G network launch worldwide is presenting a similar, if not bigger, opportunity for applications like Oovoo.
I was just going to say, presumably you're not that keen on the way the industry seems to be moving away from unlimited data. For LTE, it's more the caps are coming in. Is that particular aspect a worry for you in terms of a possible disincentive to use applications, even though the bandwidth is there?
I mean, I can't comment on the carrier's business model here. I'm less worried about that if you compare our application to, say, a Netflix or any of the video streaming services. We're still only using a fraction of the bandwidth that those kind of applications use.
That's true.
For a typical user with a typical minutes of Oovoo video minutes they use per month, we don't think it's gonna break the current caps that the carriers are imposing.
Okay.
Beyond that, the only thing I wanted to add is, at the end of the day, keep the consumers happy is the number one priority, not just for us, but also for the carriers. So I do expect that even if we get to a point that there could be a potential contention between application like Oovoo and the bandwidth limitation imposed by the carriers, I fully expect that there will be competition. And at that point, carriers have to think about how to keep their users happy.
Okay. In the mobile industry, there's a lot of talk going on about the relationship between OTT applications such as Oovoo and the carriers. What sort of relationship and partnership do you have with any particular operators or carriers in general, and what's your view on that sometimes fraught relationship?
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a hotly debated topic, as you mentioned. At Oovoo, we always have a very open mindset in terms of working with carriers. I think at the end of the day, as I mentioned, the customer is the king. And, the ultimate goal is to keep the customers happy. And if they're happy, then all the components in the entire ecosystem will be happy, or will somehow, make your money. So we have always had a open mindset in terms of working with carriers. We have a partnership in the U.S. currently where the carrier actually feature our video chat application, to their customers.
Right.
And I think even in the last year's broadband forum event, I mentioned for us, I think innovation is key, and the users actually are leading the innovation, and we're responding, or we can respond much faster than what the carrier can. And I think that's the value add that we bring to the carrier. And on the other side, and I think there's a lot of things the carrier can contribute in terms of offering the best possible experience for the end user. So we're very much open to collaboration with carriers.
Okay, that's great. You mentioned monetization there, and another hotly debated topic is how successful mobile monetization will be. What are your thoughts in that area? What can you tell me about your strategy for mobile monetization?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are trying a lot of different things right now in the mobile. The whole mobile advertising is still kind of nascent if we compare that to the general internet advertising world. So for us, Oovoo is first and foremost a ad-sponsored free app. That's the business model we chose for our desktop application for the most part, and that's the model we most likely will continue on the mobile platform as well. And we believe there's a huge opportunity in the on the mobile platform as far as advertising money is concerned. If you look at our president, Jay Salmon has a great slide showing the correlation between where which platform the users are spending time on versus where the advertising dollar is. It's a great graph. You see a big disparity on the mobile platform. So we fully expect that market to grow exponentially in the next couple of years, and we are well positioned to be take advantage of that.
Okay, but there's clearly still a lot of work to be done in that kind of area. What would you say in general to those looking to innovate in the digital space, and particularly in mobile?
I kind of mentioned that several times. One is definitely listen to your users. They are the true innovator, and all we do, most of the stuff we do at Oovoo is, listen carefully to what our users are saying and how they are. Sometimes they don't tell us, but they use our application in the way they see fit in their lifestyle, and so we need to pay attention to how our users are using our service. And we're trying to come up with ways to make that easier and a better experience for them.
Okay.
Today, generally speaking, getting a business up running is much easier compared to years back. All the tools and the free tools and platforms, are very much available out there. So just go for it. That's all I always say.
Chang, that's really great to talk to you. I think this call has been a great advert for Oovoo, and we're conducting the call over LTE, so it's a good advert for LTE as well.
Absolutely, yeah. LTE works well.
Okay, so I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today, and I look forward to meeting you in June at the LTE World Summit.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Great. Thanks very much.